Welcome back. 17 foreign nationals are in custody of the Department of Immigration, handed over by the United States Coast Guard on Wednesday. Immigration officials say the migrants, consisting of 2 Brazilian females, 1 Brazilian male, 4 Ecuadorian females, 8 Ecuadorian males, 1 Jamaican male, and 1 Mexican male, were turned over to the immigration officials at the Prince George Wharf. All migrants were transported to the Carmichael Road Detention Center, where they await deportation to their homelands. The department is working with local agencies on the island to ensure health and safety protocols are followed. As members of Parliament continue debate on the Notaries Public Amendments Bill 2022 on Wednesday evening, former Prime Minister and Member of Parliament for Kalani, Dr. Hubert Minnis, first sought to help the public understand what the key aspects of the bill seeks to accomplish before lending his support to the act.
The bill seeks to amend the Notaries Public Act to establish the duration and validity of licenses issued in accordance with the Act. It also seeks to provide for a grace period of 1 month between the expiry of a license and the time to renew. The third clause of the bill also seeks to insert new sections 6A, 6B, 6C, which provide for the renewal date for applications made before or after the date of expiry of a license. It seeks to exempt certain licensees from the payment of renewal fees. It seeks to waive arrears of unpaid fees for the exempt licensees and provide for the pausing and resumption of offering notarial services. The bill's fourth clause seeks to provide for the limited extension of the exemption and waiver of fees to licensees who would have qualified for the exemption or waiver of renewal fees prior to the commencement of the Act. I support the bill, Madam Speaker, and hope these changes will help improve the functions of notaries public and the services they provide in the country.
The leader of the official opposition, Michael Pintard, spent much of his time speaking about the Davis administration's failure to execute the BPL fuel hedge strategy, immigration matters, as well as a number of other matters. He also spoke candidly about the Grand Bahama Port Authority, what should be done to improve the economy on Grand Bahama, and how the government should approach the matter. He does not believe that central government taking over the Grand Bahama Port Authority is a good idea because politics would dictate who gets what.
Madam Speaker, let me be clear. The people of Grand Bahama, in particular the licensees, and I've been a licensee in recent years of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, we do not believe that the Grand Bahama Port Authority is functioning in the most effective manner that is in the best interest of Freeport and by extension the rest of Grand Bahama. And it is the rest of Grand Bahama because they are responsible for regulating even the electricity company that's responsible for East and West Grand Bahama. But we also do not believe that central government should be making statements that create uncertainty in the domestic and international market about the future of Grand Bahama without doing the sensible thing, which is to sit down with the opposition, to sit down with the licensees, including the industrials, to sit down with DevCo and GBPA and talk about and discuss the way forward. Madam Speaker, so important is the future of the Hawksbill Creek Agreement and GBPA that we should convene a session of Parliament to have a discussion about the way forward. We should be in Grand Bahama meeting with all the stakeholders. And I believe the member for Western and Bimini, you must be saying this to your cabinet colleagues. Because it is not right what the Prime Minister has done in creating uncertainty about some strong action they're going to take without defining what the action is. Which investor in his right mind is going to deposit money into an uncertain environment? It was uncertain when the two shareholder families were fighting each other. It is uncertain under the Davis-Cooper administration today. And we will resist anything other than having a sensible, reasonable conversation with all stakeholders about the way forward for Freeport in particular and Grand Bahama.
As for the Notaries Public Amendment Bill, Mr. Pintard says the official opposition supports the bill. The Minister of National Security, Legal Affairs, and the Office of the Attorney General, they honored a total of 68 retirees in a special award ceremony on the grounds of the Orville Turnquist Building on JFK Drive, which houses the Ministry of National Security and the Attorney General's offices. This ceremony also marking the country's 50th anniversary of independence, honoring the retirees from the legal offices, inclusive of Under Secretary Dr. Donna Miller, who has served 43 years, Senior Executive Officer Donna Lee Hepburn, who has put in 42 years, Attorney General Senator Ryan Pinder commended the retirees for their efforts.
But I want to say special commendation to those retiring out of the Ministry of Legal Affairs and associated agencies. Certainly without your hard work and dedication, we couldn't sit here and do what we do as leaders of the country, and for running a successful operation over at the Office of the Attorney General. So I want to thank everybody for that.
Extending his congratulations to retirees under the National Security umbrella, including Deputy Commissioner of Police Loretta Mackey, Chief Superintendent Brian Miller, and Prince Charlton, all of whom gave 40 years of service, was Minister of National Security Wayne Munro, who says the workers are the driving force behind every ministry.
The Commissioner of Police clearly can't run every division, arrest every criminal. The Commodore of the Defense Force can't man all of the outstations or the vessels, nor could the captains, nor could the chief superintendents. Everyone plays a part in this exercise called statehood. And we celebrate you because in this part of it, you've been faithful and finished the race to retirement. There's an earthly prize laid up for you in the public service called gratuity and pension, which mightn't be very big and compared to the heavenly reward. But we do recognize you, we do celebrate you.
Also in attendance was Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernanda, Royal Bahamas Defense Force Commodore Dr. Raymond King, and Acting Commissioner of the Bahamas Department of Corrections, Dawn Clare. An animal sanctuary is in the works, according to a memorandum of understanding agreement between the Ministry of Agriculture, Marine Resources and Family Island Affairs and the Bahamas Alliance for Animals' Rights and Kindness, or BARC. The partnership aims to strengthen efforts towards protection of animals throughout the Bahamas. The minister responsible, Clay Sweeting, expands on what the initiative is all about.
The sanctuary will be placed on more than 3 acres of property leased by BARC. For more than 14 years, BARC, a non-profit organization, has focused on carrying out numerous spay and neuter and educational projects throughout the Bahamas, including numerous in Eleuthera, with the aim to reduce homeless animal production and end the suffering of cats and dogs throughout our country. Even more impressive is that BARC has successfully spayed or neutered over 23,000 dogs and cats. This MOU is a significant milestone that showcases BARC's dedication and commitment to providing a safe haven for animals in need. BARC's efforts will not only contribute to the welfare of these animals, but will also raise awareness about the importance of kindness and compassion towards all living beings.
Minister Sweeting goes on to explain that the animal sanctuary will not only fulfill the role of being a refuge for most vulnerable animals in need of medical services and rehabilitation, but will also serve as an educational facility to raise awareness of animal welfare and responsible pet ownership within local communities. Bahamian Jordan Wilson's heroics secured the United States National Youth Soccer Under-19 Championships for IMG Academy Boarding School in Florida. Jordan, pictured here, receiving his Top Players Award, is the son of John and Simone Wilson. He completed the championship as the top scorer amongst all teams with 7 goals and a successful penalty kick. In a thrilling finale to the Elite 64 United States Youth Soccer League Championship, Wilson, wearing the captain's armband, led his IMG Academy squad to an undefeated run through the national championships. He shared his thoughts on the experience.
It feels great, especially after all season. We had our ups and downs, but it feels really good to be here. It was so difficult. We practiced all year for this, worked hard. Every single game we put 100%, and just to end it off like this, for most of us going to college next year, it was a great experience. And honestly, it was a great trip. I enjoyed it, every minute of it. And to end it like this, it was amazing.
The talented Bahamian striker's exceptional run in the tournament was topped off by scoring 2 crucial goals in the championship game to lead the IMG Academy team to a 3-2 victory over the PDA Academy out of New Jersey. The tournament took place in Oceanside, California this past weekend. And finally, as the Jubilee Bahamas Games begin to wind down, if you haven't gotten a chance to visit any of the competitions, this evening there's championship basketball at the Kendall Isaacs Gymnasium, there's championship softball at the Bankers Field in the Blue Hills Sporting Complex, and the second night of track and field is going down at the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. Grand Bahama and New Providence, they are in a battle for the most medals, but there have been some major upsets. For instance, the women from Abaco defeated the women from New Providence to advance to the Women's Basketball Championship, where they will face Exuma, who defeated Eleuthera in the women's semifinal round. Columbus Isles has been a big surprise, and they sit in 3rd spot overall in the medal count, followed by Long Island 4th, Andros 5th. Meanwhile, Bimini, Michael, Exuma, and Ragged Island, Eleuthera, Abaco, and they round out 6th through 10th when it comes to the medal count. The Bahamas Games wraps up on Saturday with exciting track and field action. Once again, they'll be at the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. And that'll do it for your JCN Evening News. Once again, I'm Jcn Saunders. Thanks so much for joining us.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.